Hello, beautiful humans. Happy Monday. Today's reflection is titled, Your Weight Loss Challenges Are Not a Knowledge Problem. And this is going along with our theme of the week, balancing act. And why this video is important to you. If you are somebody who is feeling overwhelmed, who feel like they hit a plateau in their health and weight loss and fitness journey, and more importantly, perhaps you're at a sticking point in your personal and professional development. You feel like you can't get over that hump. That's what this is about today. Realizing that the way you have been doing things is the problem, because you're using your old tactics, your old knowledge, and you're thinking you could just force yourself to do more. So, let's start with the tactics, what most people think. Most people think, like, oh, I need to learn some new skill, I need to learn some new biohack or some new crazy diet regimen or whatever that is. People jump from one diet to the next, to the next, to the next, to one crazy fitness regimen, to the next, to the next, to the next. And the problem is, you already know what to do. And I have yet to meet anybody, if I ask them right now what they could do, if I ask them what they could do right now to lose some more weight, it always comes down to these 5 things, and everybody seems to know them. Get some more sleep, drink some more water, walk a little bit more, focus on some more lean proteins, get some more fruits and vegetables. Every single time. Those are the same 5 things that I'll get out of people every time. And guess what? They're right. They're the foundational elements. Moving more, recovering better, and fueling yourself with the appropriate foods. Go figure. You already knew the answer to that. The problem is, why are you not doing it? And again, coming back to the weight loss, the weight loss is the weight gain, I should say. The weight gain is not the actual problem. It is a symptom of the problem. The problem is you're overwhelmed and you don't know how to manage your time. You don't know how to create space in your schedule for you to do the things you need to do and want to do consistently. And this is an ironic byproduct of your own success. At one point in your life, you had to say yes to a lot of things to grow, and ultimately not really knowing what you were saying yes. Some things worked and some things were great. And some things, they felt good at the time because you felt busy, but they might no longer be serving you. And because of that, your schedule is filled to the brim and you're rushing and busy. That's one of the big words, busy, quote unquote, that I will hear as kind of a big red flag. If you're always busy, you're not being that productive. You're jumping from one activity to the next without any ability to recalibrate, refocus, and even question if what you're doing is meaningful and productive and actually moving you in the right direction. So often what happens here is your life becomes out of balance. You don't have harmony. You're just rushing from one task to the next, and many times that excludes the things you need to do for your appropriate self-care. The basics I just alluded to before. And that's because you feel successful, you feel obligated to maintain your success that way, not realizing that there's other ways to be able to do that. You might have to recalibrate your relationships, meaning you need to have a new conversation and renegotiate what a healthy and meaningful relationship looks like. You might need to delegate some new tasks. You might need to train somebody to take on some of the responsibilities that you had. You might have to pay somebody. You might have to let go of some things on your schedule. Ultimately, the balancing act that you must take on is, how do you manage your time? And that is the ultimate macro management. People get very caught up on proteins, carbs, and fat as they measure your macros, or flexible dieting that way, but that's a very narrow-minded way of looking at the entire outcome, because you're still only looking at the brass tacks, which, yes, you do need to hit those, and they are very important, but it's the environment in which those tasks exist that if you can be, you need to be aware of that so that you can be consistent and you have the ability to adapt and be flexible within your life and within your schedule. That's the key. So the moral of the story here is give yourself permission to take a step back and go back to simple things so that, more importantly, you can focus on recalibrating your schedule, on reorganizing your schedule. And when your schedule gets tightened up and you've recreated some space there for the things that actually move the needle, and you leave space to absorb whatever new stresses or unpredictable things that might come up, you're going to be in a better place to stay consistent. You won't feel as overwhelmed. You won't feel like you're constantly needing to play catch up by doing extreme things to lose the weight or crush yourself in workouts or whatever biohack thing you think is going to accelerate it because you're trying to keep up to some arbitrary standard, which we'll lead into that conversation another day, because ultimately what we're talking about here is your identity. What you believe about yourself and your self-worth is what drives those deeper things. So my challenge to you is to, number one, acknowledge where you're at. If you're feeling any of those things, you're feeling those signs of burnout, you're feeling like you're stuck, you feel like you've plateaued, you feel like no matter what you try doing, more, you still keep coming right back to the same spot. Acknowledge, hey, you're still trying to do too much as opposed to just doing the basics consistently. So it's giving yourself permission to slow down so that you can then also examine your schedule and then reorganize your schedule in a way that actually fits the things that are important to you and takes care of the relationships that are important to you and makes time and space for the work that's meaningful for you, that actually moves the needle, and above all else, takes care of your body. Because if you're not okay, nobody that you're responsible to is okay. So, again, acknowledge where you're at, because awareness is the key. Then slow down, focus on those basic 5 things, or at least one of them, and then reorganize your schedule. You'll be much happier. Those are all my thoughts right now. Hope you found some value in that. I hope you have a great start to your week. So until next time, I remind you to love everybody.